whoever gets the mic, I want you to say what grade, how old you were when the pandemic hit, and I want you to talk about how it's impacted your life and how you feel like it's changed things.
Okay, so when the pandemic started, I was in 7th grade. I was 12 at the time. But the thing with the pandemic, what it did to me specifically, it definitely made me a more anxious person because, I don't know, I also just like, since it was like a sickness too, that like I really don't like if people are around me who are sick, I don't like to be next to them. I really just don't like being sick. And so since we had to stay home all the time to not get sick, I would just kind of be like, if we had to go run errands, I would be like double masking. I wouldn't really want to go outside because like I don't want to get sick. People are dying from this. Kids my age, grandparents, adults, everybody's dying from this. And so even to this day, like I still just have just generalized anxiety sometimes that something bad just may happen like that again. I guess it's caused me to be more of a, I don't know, cautious person, maybe even overthinking sometimes. I had a lot of time to think since I was by myself.
I was 13 in 7th grade when the pandemic hit. My mental health was terrible. I was going through a lot, and then very extroverted person. I feed off of people's energy, and like being around people, I feed off of those people. And so like when we were secluded by ourselves, like whatever, I got really, really depressed. Everybody's going through stuff. I mean, I went through stuff, huge MDE, which is a major depressive episode. I really, really struggled for a really long time, which is why it's so important to me. There are other kids out there like that, and I think that's why it's so important to me, because there is somebody else out there who has a story to share, and you know, there is a kid out there who's not willing to share, or just not ready, and is struggling, immensely struggling with the fact that, you know, they're going through stuff, but they don't know how to talk about it, they don't know where to talk about it. I noticed like after like going back to school and everything, like now like talking to new people, I hate talking to new people now. I was never like that before, but like meeting new people and like making new friends is terrifying.
It was spring break of 7th grade for me. And that was a rough year. I feel like kids when they went back to school, whatever year you went back to school, you were so far behind. Like I remember my freshman year, we had to take 3 steps back from where we were supposed to be. Like we had to relearn 8th grade. We had to relearn like English. We had to go back and learn how to like multiply sometimes. We had to learn how to redo stuff we should have learned in 8th grade that we didn't. It's still, I have so much social anxiety now. Like anywhere I'm at, I'm constantly like, oh my gosh, there's so many people around here. What am I gonna do? And it wasn't really like that before. Like, I mean, I may have been nervous, but it wasn't like, oh no. So yeah.
Coming up.
I was in 4th grade when the pandemic hit. The pandemic was like my first exposure to just how hateful people could be. When I first saw the news of George Floyd, and I was like, wow, this is what the world is actually like to people that look like me.